Hey guys, I'm going to do 3 quick things you can use ChatGPT for right now to help you at your job or find a new job or at your company. Let's talk about it. So a lot of people are talking about different things that you could use ChatGPT for, or OpenAI, or any of the AI tools. And I just want to say here too that depending on what tool you're using, whether it's Google's Bard or ChatGPT, the tone can also change. So even though I'm going to talk about ChatGPT today, go through all of your available AI services and do a lot of these exact same steps, and then talk about look at the differences between the results that you get. I think it'll be pretty interesting. So the first tool, this is both for employers and employees, is you can use ChatGPT and use some prompts, and I'll show an example of that, to write not only your resume or an example resume, but also a job description for the same type of role. So if you're trying to come up with a real good base place to start, just follow these prompts. I'll show you a really quick example. Let's dive into it and see the example.
The first thing we're going to do is write a job description. And prompts are huge, and I do want to do a video about prompts later on at some point, but let's just go over some real basic stuff when it comes to prompt. Okay, so let's just go over some real basics. So when using ChatGPT, you always want to train it and give it some background knowledge. So in this case, we're going to say that I'm a hiring manager for a large tech company. So I wrote a very basic prompt. I'm a hiring manager for a large tech company. I need to write a job description for a software engineer that has 5 to 7 years of experience and knows C#, SQL, and we can even do something like MySQL, Agile, and has 5 years of experience with backend development. We could just add in a bunch of stuff. The more information that you provide it, so 5 to 7 years of this type of experience, 4 years of this type of project, this type of certification. I mean, you could just continue to add stuff constantly, but let's see what it comes back with. Yeah, and I would say this is a pretty good place, and you're just gonna fill it in. So, talks about the overview, and again, the more information that you give it ahead of time. I'm a software engineer, I'm a hiring manager for a company of this name, this size, this location, with this many employees. I'm looking to quickly hire this, and really depending on the words that you put in there, you could say I'm looking for the ideal fit, whatever it may be. You're putting it. The more that you're training it from your perspective and how you're thinking, the better ChatGPT is willing to spell this out. So it's got some pretty basic stuff, and this is what a great place that took a minute or two, and then we're able to customize it from here. You could also write a resume. You could literally take the same prompt and say I am a software engineer at a large tech company. And instead of writing a job description, you're going to write a resume for a software engineer that has 5 to 7 years, all the things. And then just change a few of these words here. So yeah, you just add it in, and it's got this plain text so you can copy and paste it into stuff. But I mean, this is a good place to start for resume too. So just like you could write job description, you could also write a different version, just literally with just like you could write a job description, you could also write a resume.
Hey, I hope that example was helpful. I'd love to hear if you've used this in the comments below. How have you used it to use this exact same thing? But yeah, that's just one quick example of how you can use ChatGPT to not only write a job description, but also write an example resume as a starting point. So the next thing you can use ChatGPT for that I want to talk about in this video is messaging. Again, whether you're an employee looking for a new role, you can use ChatGPT to write some messaging for you. And especially on the employer side, you can use ChatGPT or any of these AI services to write messages to potential employees or to potential clients. I don't recommend just copying and pasting anything. There's some training involved into it. This is a great starting point for any messaging campaign, and ChatGPT is a great way, or any AI service is a great way to generate some starting content, and I highly encourage you to start to customize it once you have a base point. But let me show you how you can do some messaging. Let's go back into ChatGPT. I'll do some quick examples of some different types of messaging.
Okay, so now for the second example, we're in a new chat area and we want to talk about messaging. So you could say, I am a CEO of a small tech company. I need to write an intro email to, and you can come up with anything here, but it could be now, if you were to write, so I wrote this message, I'm a CEO of a small tech company, messaging to prospective clients about software services, but what I didn't say is I didn't say my name, I didn't say my company name, right? And again, the more information you provide, the better that ChatGPT will come up with a response. So we need to just add some things in here. I don't know, I'm just gonna make up a company name. So I'm gonna add in my name and a company name. Right, so this is the intro email. The super cool thing is that you can shorten this. Right? So I really like this, and this is a great starting point, and you can customize it. If you're in recruiting as well and you want to come up with a good message, you could use OpenAI to modify this message, and as you get different responses, you can save them. They're saved in this workspace, over here. But if you're new to messaging, what a great way to get some base messages down, and you can refine it and perfect it from there.
Hey, I hope that was helpful. Let's move on to my third tip for this video. Also, if you're still watching, please hit the like and subscribe button. Please comment below too if you're watching on YouTube, if you've used ChatGPT, and if you find any of these tips useful, or some tips that you'd also like to pass on. I'd love to make some videos about it and take your tips and try it and learn about it and record it and share my results. The third and final tip that I want to talk about for this particular video is you can use ChatGPT or any AI service to leverage social media content. So whether you're starting some blog posting, writing scripts for videos, it's a really easy way. It's not great, but just to get some base content going, I strongly encourage you to customize it once you have a basic layout. You could also do this for websites and coding, which I'll do another video about, but this is a really good way to get just a starting point for a lot of social media content, whether that's a book, a blog post, a video script, whatever that may be. I've used it before for just to see, but let me show you an example of just writing a blog post for a company, a recruiting company or an IT company, and show you the results.
So the last thing that I want to talk about, or show an example of, is how you can write a blog post. It's pretty simple. Please write a short blog post about 3 ways to write a better resume for a job in IT. Quick blog post. And I've used this as a good place to start to come up with some ideas. You could also write a brief video script for an introduction video for YouTube for a small tech company. So there's quite a bit of content you can do from this, which is pretty awesome. And it, again, is a great place to come up with ideas, and especially if you're an owner of a company or you have a team that will work for you or with you, you can come up with some basic ideas, send it over to them, and they'll refine it. I hope these tips help, and I hope you found them useful.
Hey, I hope you found that really intriguing. Again, eventually AI is going to have a lot of the same content, and I think that having original thoughts would be useful, but also just getting a blog started or getting a vlog started. And if you don't know what to do, this is a great way to learn and get some really good videos. I wish I had it when I first started, because writing a script is so important. One thing too I want to talk about in the next video is how you can use ChatGPT to do some basic programming, which I'll definitely do some videos on. But for now, those are three I think three of the most actionable, useful things you can use right now if you're an employer or employee to make a big impact on your business or your personal life using AI. And while I agree that AI is a good tool, I think we need to be cognizant of how we're using it. And I think these are three really good, useful tips for anyone to try, and I hope my little tutorials were useful. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, your time and attention. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and if you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I'll catch you on the next one.